Good afternoon and welcome. Welcome indeed to another edition of the Mark Moses Show podcast as we are broadcasting here on a beautiful Thursday afternoon here on the coast. We're always broadcasting from the Anidjar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Take back control of your life. Call them today, 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Anidjar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Also want to give a shout out to Chumley's Depot in downtown Melbourne where friends meet. Don't forget, coming up this fall at Chumley's, they will have NFL Sunday Ticket. I know it's the official here in Brevard County official watch party bar for the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. And Walk On Sports Bistreaux right there in Vieira, home of the $5 Tito's and $4 Busch Lights all day, every day at Walk On's Sports Bistro there in Vieira. All right, let's get into it. NBA Finals Game 3 was last night there in Indianapolis, and I'm looking over the stats here on my phone. Pacers get it done, 116-107. Their bench, and I know Coach Mims, who came on Monday to talk NBA Finals, he texted me last night. He's like, the bench outscored, the Pacers bench outscored the Thunder bench. It was like 49-18. It was something like that. Dominating performance. So it's not just the starters for the Pacers that are scoring, it's the bench as well. And if you look at this, 8, 10, 27, 4, that's pretty good. Starters for Indiana, just going over the points, 21, 7, 9, 8, 22, and Halliburton really led the way. And he's been great all postseason. Halliburton, 22, 11, and 9 in the win. Man, oh man. The Pacers are now 2 games away from winning their first ever NBA championship. The Indiana Pacers. Remember, we went into this season. We're like, all right, who are the contenders? The real contenders. Boston, Cleveland, Golden State, maybe the Lakers, maybe the Mavericks. You look at some of these teams. All right, here's your real contenders. The Indiana Pacers are 2 wins away from winning the NBA championship. That's not a joke. That's not fake news. 2 wins away. And watching that game last night, okay, it's a 1-point game, 1-possession game with 5 minutes to go. Indiana's at home, and they started playing better basketball. They made the plays late. Their players hit shots, and Oklahoma City did not. 5 minutes ago, it's a game, and Indiana took over. They get it done. Now, I'm still going Thunder in 6. I am. And I said this on Monday, coming off the Game 2 performance, that I would not be shocked if Indiana gets it done in Game 3. They did. They got it done, and now we're going to go into a Game 4 coming up tomorrow night there in Indianapolis. Game 4, where it is, I know this is very cliche to say, it is a Game 4 must win for the Thunder. Must win. They were in this situation in round 2 when they were taking on the Denver Nuggets, where Denver won Game 3 in Denver. Then they come back Game 4 where Denver could have really put the nail in the coffin going up 3-1 and played one of their worst games of the postseason, and the Thunder survived. I know that series went 7. Thunder get it done in Game 7 at home. It's going to be interesting. Indiana has won on the Thunder's court and now have won on their own court. They have the confidence and the horses to get it done. If Indiana can win Game 4 at home, they can win this series. Because then you're up 3-1, and you'll have 3 tries to win one game, including a Game 6 at home. This is not a fraud. This is not a joke. This is not fake news. Indiana Pacers are for real, and they're 2 games away from winning their first ever NBA championship. What? How is that even real? If you're the Thunder, 68 wins in the regular season. You are now in the NBA Finals for a chance at your first NBA championship as the Oklahoma City Thunder. You've got to make sure that you get off your ass, stop thinking you're great, start scratching and clawing, play 4 quarters of basketball, and you better win Game 4. Whoever wins this game 4 is going to win this championship. That is my hot take of the day. If Indiana wins that game 4 at home, goes up 3-1, they're winning this series, and they're going to break the spirit of the Oklahoma City Thunder. If the Thunder can play like they did in game 2, where they had multiple people scoring, not just SGA, but multiple, Williams, Chet, all those guys. If they can win game 4, they're going to win this series. That's why it's going to be fascinating. And I know, look, the TV ratings have not been great. I understand, because there's no LeBron, there's no Steph Curry, there's no Boston Celtics, there's no New York Knicks. There's not these marquee names or franchises in big cities. But it's been a good series. It has. They've been competitive all 3 games. They have been. They're exciting, but TV ratings have not been good. And I said this morning on my TikTok feed, I'm going to say it right now to you. The NBA will never allow this ever again. Even if this goes 7 games and they're all highly contested games and they're all exciting. No. If these TV ratings are just god-awful through this whole series, the NBA, no way. We're going to get a New York, LA. We're going to get a LeBron-led team. Something's going to happen next year. If these TV ratings are this bad, even though this has been a good series, this is not going to happen again. No way. I'm not into many conspiracy theories. The NBA will not allow this to happen. No way. NFL is king because all 32 teams, whoever gets to the Super Bowl, best TV ratings of the year. Doesn't even matter. You can't do that in hockey. You can't do that in baseball or basketball. Only the NFL, where it doesn't matter what team, what market, doesn't matter. They're going to get great TV ratings for the playoffs and the Super Bowl. NBA can't do that. You can't. And remember, the NBA, new TV deal, they're moving to NBC. Games are going to be on Amazon. All these new TV contracts, all these new big players, they're spending billions and billions of dollars. They're not going to want Oklahoma City versus Indiana again. No, they're not. So I go back and forth. The basketball fan in me, I love these games I'm watching, but the TV person in me is like, nah, this isn't going to be good. But game 4, it's going to be must-see TV. And you know what? I think a lot of people are going to watch that game coming up tomorrow night to see what happens. Because what's happening now? Indiana's 2 wins away from the NBA title. I'm going to be watching tomorrow night. That's going to be fascinating. It really is. And speaking, we bring up New York. Last week they got rid of Tom Thibodeau. And they said, we got to get a better coach. Now it appears that they can't find a coach to coach the New York Knicks moving forward. They're trying to throw out all these different, hey, maybe Jason Kidd with the Mavericks. Maybe, that coach there in Chicago who used to coach the Florida Gators, Billy Donovan. No. They're getting rejected more than dudes are on Tinder after a while. No one wants the job. How do you fire the coach that led you to the Eastern Conference Finals and then not have a backup plan in place, or a guy that you're waiting, all right, we're going to hire this guy? At least with the Bulls 25 years ago, all right, at least they knew who they were going to replace with when they got rid of Phil Jackson, Tim Floyd. Now, he was a complete disaster, but at least they had a guy in place. Knicks have nothing. So if you're a coach at the high school, college, or NBA level, and you want to coach the New York Knicks, they're looking for a guy. Get on LinkedIn, Career Builder, whatever job site you go on. Insert your resume, because you might be the next coach of the New York Knicks. Because it appears no one else wants the job. Just wild. All right, I'll coach the team. All right, here's what we'll do. Coach Mims, you can coach the team if you're watching this. I'll be one of your assistants. I run the offense. That's how we roll around here. So that's the NBA, right? Now, if you're going to do what's on tap, hey, sponsored by Chumley's Depot here locally. All right, Game 4 Stanley Cup Finals there in South Florida. The Panthers are going to host the Edmonton Oilers. They're up 2-1. They destroyed the Oilers the other night there at Sunrise, winning, 6-1? This is a big game for the Panthers. They want to try to win their second ever Stanley Cup, and 2 in a row, they got to get it done. Remember, last year, 7 games. They were up 3-0. Edmonton won 3. Then they won that game 7 at home. This year, Edmonton has home ice. Go get that win tonight if you're the Panthers. Full slate of Major League Baseball as well. And that's what's going on, buddy, here for a Thursday. And congrats. Yeah, Pacers get it done. Their bench was great. Their stars were great. They're up 2-1. Game 4 is coming up tomorrow night. Have a great day. This has been the Mark Moses Show.